Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today for you, I have a game of games, a 4v4, on a map called Granny's Dentures. And I guess it's called that. I don't know if this is like supposed to be a tooth. I don't really see it. Let me know if my viewers see it. I don't see the dentures. I mean, maybe I'm just retarded. I use the R word. I apologize, please. Don't unsubscribe. Don't leave my channel because I'm such an insensitive person. But I do say that despite my insensitivity, this game is going to be a banger. I have heard. I like that it's a hybrid map. There is water. There is metal under the water. There is a potential for hovercrafts and sea. And we've got a all-star cast of players, including Harold Walker, Stag Jr., EXC, and Bully, and everyone else that you could possibly want in a game. So, guys, please sit down, gather your popcorn, gather your soda and Doritos and other unhealthy food and beverage. Let's get into this. So, here at the top left, we have Gully, who is known for his late-game macro shenanigans. Gully immediately building a floating light laser tower. I don't know about this. This seems like a waste of resources. Guys, early on in a game, every single metal counts, and there's no way in hell that anyone is going to be getting any kind of ship over to his base this quickly, but maybe it's better to be safe than sorry. Let's go ahead and check here how much a floating light laser tower costs. So that's 186 metal, almost 2,600 energy. I guess it doesn't cost that much metal, but could probably be a little bit. You can see he's stalling on the shipyard. He's reclaiming his K-Bot lab right away. And yeah, so that's his story. In purple, we have Smokester. In yellow, we have Walker, who can be a very good player. This is what I'll say about Walker. He has the potential to be a very good player. He said that the only people who play this mod, TA Escalation, are masochists. And before every game, he likes to have his wife kick him in the balls to get him kind of like psyched up and motivated. So Walker's skill as a player is heavily dependent on how much effort and energy his wife put into the masochistic glee of kicking him in the nuts. So let's see if she gave him a good enough kick in the nuts this game. In brown, we have Stagma Jr., who... This guy, Stagma Jr., is scary to play against. He is one of the best team players for sure. I haven't seen him do many 1v1s, but I hate playing against him. He's just way too good at the game, makes really good decisions, and he's hard to beat. Any team with Stagma Jr. on it is not a team you want to be on the opposite side of. And finally, we have... who did I miss here? I guess that was everyone on the West team. On the Northeastern team, we have Bully. In blue and red, we have fan favorite EXE, and his effectiveness is sort of dependent on the way the wind is blowing. You just never know with EXE what you're going to get. He is sometimes you get a very standard game from him, and sometimes you get 15 aircraft plants. You just never know. So EXE, always fun to watch. Here in orange is Harold, known as the best escalation player of all time. The current champion of basically every tournament we've had in the past 5 years. This man cannot be beat in a 1v1. It's very difficult at least. So yeah, that is a difficult person to go up against. And finally, in light blue, we have Art. So those are your players for today's matches. Everyone touch gloves and all of that. I think this game, like I said, is going to be a banger. We've got really good teams. Stagma and Herald definitely some of the best players, but Herald and Walker and EXE also two extraordinarily strong individuals in the right circumstance. So already EXE looks like he's going to find Purple. Caught out a little bit, and he should probably get this construction vehicle without too much trouble. What else can he get? He's definitely going to get this mechs. No, he doesn't have the shoot all command on. So to my viewers, there's a command that you have to turn on NTA in order for your units to automatically shoot non-combatants, and it is called the shoot all command, and it looked like EXE didn't have that turned on, so he does still get the mechs and one con. Ultimately, that was a successful raid by any measure, but Herald with a nice squadron of flashes here. It looks to be about 15 or so, and does Stagma have enough to stop him? A few storms. And also Vikings, so Stagma has gone into the water. This might be difficult. Even with all these flashes, Herald deciding to turn around, there is enough support. And so this is one reason that you will go Naval here. Even though there's only a small strip of water at the bottom of the map and the top, you can see that this allows you to harass the land armies from off the shoreline, and Stagma taking full advantage of that little feature. So well played so far by both teams. Neither team is clearly ahead at this point, so we are still in the early stages of a 4v4, and the 4v4s do tend to go the distance as long as the teams are relatively well balanced, which is easier nowadays. We'll comment about that in a minute. Walker holding the mid. Attempting to hold the mid from red and light blues attacks. Storms can outrange LLTs, but he's also using instigators. And I have to say, nice micro by Walker. He does ultimately prevent this attack from breaking through into the Western team's base. But speaking of breaking through, Stag has brought a few storms, and off the coastlines some Vikings as well, making good use of terrain and the ranged advantage of both these frigates and the rocket K-bots, forcing Herald back. This is a difficult situation for vehicles to be in. Vehicles on T1 do not really have a long-range combatant unit like they do in OTA or Protea. So in Protea, you might see in this situation the Samson, which could outrange both the Storms and the Vikings. But Samsons in this mod are not really that strong. They, and for a long time, couldn't even shoot at ground. They can shoot at ground now in Escalation, but they only do about a third of the damage. So they're not really worth building, and well, at least unless you're using them for anti-air. But that is going to force Herald to start building submarines, and he's going to have to build this quickly because it's a veritable army of Vikings who are coming to raid and pillage Herald's base if they can. This one submarine will protect him, but it may not stop the shipyard from dying. Also building floating light laser tower as well. So that one submarine, it was built just in time to at least push this back, but he will lose his shipyard as a consequence of that. And here in the top, EXE pushing through with a nice group of units, both Roccos and Pee-wees, bringing some cons as well. Here in the top, the Eastern team has control of the sea, with Bully going Skeeters and lurkers. So a nice combination of subs and scouts. Try to control the sea in the north. EXE bringing some construction vehicles to reclaim the corpses after the battles that he fights. Free metal is always welcome in Escalation, but EXE now has gone to T2 K-Bot for arm. Herald on T2 vehicle. And it looks like Herald also rebuilding the shipyard as well. Blue going T2 K-Bot. And, surprisingly, Pink going into T2 Naval. It feels a little early for that. We are only about 12 minutes into the game, so this early of a T2 Naval. Could we perhaps see T3 Naval in this game? Could we perhaps? Could God grace us with an appearance in this game? Purple saying something quite inappropriate in the chat, so I won't repeat that because my casts are for PG audiences only, obviously. And once again, Stagma showing us why he's such a strong player, pushing through the bottom with these storms. And now Herald attempting to push attempting to push Stagma out of the sea, contesting him with submarines. There's only one enforcer here. That's the only thing that can deal with these submarines. And so it's unclear at this point whether Stagma even knows that there are 3 submarines. Though he kind of acts like he knows. He's not really going anywhere near those. But the battle in the north continues to rage as Pink clearly just trying to hold off the tide of Blue's forces while he techs to tier 2, which he has teched to tier 2, but now he has to survive long enough to start building executioners. And looks like he'll be able to. Walker now frustrated that he's getting 2v1'd by, I guess it's EXE and light blue for the most part. EXE and Art. Though I have to say, Walker's still doing a decent job of it. Despite all his protestations. I will have to say that he's kept the mid alive for quite a while, but maybe no longer, as a group of thuds do finally break through the defenses and now doing the death march to the west, past all of the mexes, which will be ingloriously decapitated. And EXE now, he has pushed through the north. So the eastern team now breaking through. However, thuds don't do great in combat. They're pretty inaccurate. They're better against defenses. So Walker will once again perhaps protect his team from devastation. As EXE, with this small group of Rockos, continuing to get work done, but now Manticore have made it to the front line, and Manticore, kind of like the upgraded Samson or Slasher, they should be able to deal with these Rockos without too much trouble. But as we can see here in the bottom, Stagma has gathered his forces, and Herald with 4 subs and 2 destroyers. So right now the game's still pretty even, neither side with a huge advantage. Walker doing his best to hold off the mid, actually building instigators this time instead of vandals. So we got to give Walker some props for that. But EXE, very annoying here, still with a small group of Rockos, being as frustrating as possible. EXE knows he can't hold this position forever. He's just trying to hold it and keep the Western team busy for as long as he possibly can. But now, Stagma is on T2 himself, the Executioner, and a Piranha, or excuse me, a Shark. The Piranha is the arm equivalent. The shark, the sub hunter, so these get a bonus damage against other submarines. As long as he can protect this, he should be able to chew through these subs, but he doesn't really want to send it first. I don't know if they get a damage reduction. I know they get extra. Yeah, so it only takes 2 shots, but he really did that wrong. Stagma needed to have his frigates and destroyers tank for that shark, and it would have killed those submarines in no time at all. Definitely don't want to use the shark as the vanguard. You want to protect it, and it can kill submarines extremely efficiently. But EXE now with Mavericks as well, and our purple player with a good use of Manticore, staying out of range of EXE's army. And now Walker is on T2 going into vehicles, so a nice variety of units and techs in this game. I think we've got almost everything. T2 arm, K-bots and vehicles, and core T2 vehicles. I guess I haven't seen core T2 K-bots, which is surprising because core T2 K-bot is extremely meta right now. In particular, the Dominators and here it is. So it does look like Herald. No, not Herald, but light blue will be finally gracing us with the ARM T2 K-bots as well. But anyways, Dominators and Mortys, very meta right now, very popular, and for good reason. They can siege bases really well, but also great for skirmishing endeavors. And once again, the mid very contested, but the Eastern team having a little better go of it as they are able to hold all the metal spots up to the middle. Guys, there's a lot. There's basically 5 different fronts. Some of them do kind of intersect, but you have the battle in the sea on both sides. That's one front. And then you have the battle in the south land bridge. So that's 2 more land fronts, and then the ones in the middle. So there are 5 different fronts in which battles can and will occur, so it is difficult to keep an eye on all of them, but I will try. Herald moving forward, using Panthers for their powerful raiding ability. Panther extremely good for this purpose, and he does seem to have broken through, getting some economic damage done. Nice job by Herald. That wasn't a huge army of Panthers, just enough to break through and get some raiding done, and they will do that pretty effectively. Might even get a construction K-bot. No, not quite. But does get plenty of mexes instead. Walker moving forward with small army of Reapers. Herald telling his team we have to help mid, realizing that Walker, after doing a little dance for about 20 minutes, will finally break through to the eastern side. Going toe-to-toe with light blue, and finally able to break through, but Herald is ready with a small squadron of Bulldogs. Only about 3, but Bulldogs do beat Reapers in direct combat. EXE with his trademark mix, Spiders and Mavericks, that is the kind of that is the dish that he is serving today. That is today's meal, today's entree for the viewer. It will be a EXE special of Spiders and Mavericks. That is what is being served. So we will have to see how he does with it. He also has some jammers, which should help with this. But unfortunately, Pink has seen this. And EXE needs to be careful and not lose his whole army to coastal bombardment shenanigans. But also, the Manticore will outrange this, but the radar jamming will help allow EXC's Mavericks to perhaps get in range if they can. Good micro by Purple. If he had just waited a second or two before moving this army, it would all be dead. As you can see, the Mavericks slightly faster than the Manticore. So Purple did react very quickly and very appropriately. Because of that, EXE's attack much less effective than it may otherwise have been. Now the naval engagement at the top that we've all been waiting for. Pink still pumping out T2, and EXE still pushing through with Mavericks. But unfortunately, I don't think EXE got as much accomplished as he wanted here. The Western team was ready for this, with a combination of ships and Manticore creating problems, and now EXE pumping out Zeus's instead. So I won't say that was a failed attack, but certainly without the Western team reacting properly, that could have been quite devastating indeed. Light blue with an attempt to bring Pyros up here, but ultimately Walkers, Reapers are waiting for them. And what surprises me is that neither side has built any defenses here in the middle. You would expect them to, you expect both sides to start shoring up their side of the Denture, I guess, in this situation to prevent the enemy team from just sending units in haphazardly, but so far that hasn't been the case. It does seem like Walker has a single mechanic here, so the mechanic is going to build a radar and perhaps some defenses eventually. Still on the Reaper game plan, but again, Reaper's not the best unit at sieging bases. Reapers are strong at the early T2 phase. They get much weaker as time goes on. Typically the core player will switch to Goliath, and already maybe Walker is doing that. But Reapers do lose to Zeus's, I think. Zeus's might outrange them, but it's not a great engagement. Goliath's much stronger at this phase of the game. And already we can see that Reaper push was stopped by 3 Bulldogs. I'm not sure what Herald is doing now. Still building Bulldogs. EXE has gone into his patented bomber shenanigans. We're going to have to see how that goes. Herald has moved his Bulldogs to the south. And I don't think we've seen many more naval engagements down here either. As Herald builds a Stalker. Now, what is the Stalker? The assault submarine. So the Stalker is like a super submarine. It is like the submarine equivalent to a cruiser. It just has a lot of health. Does good damage. We don't see them that often. Typically at the T2 phase of naval combat, we'll see cruisers like executioners, and then going to the battleship phase, you also see a lot of escort ships as well for that anti-air and anti-sub capability. So seeing some assault submarines here could be interesting. Ooh, a nicely timed diplomat rocket there will take out a good clump of units. Diplomat rockets are somewhat slow, but if you can catch your opponent unawares, they can do some pretty effective damage. And blue building Pelicans, but I'm not sure about this. Pelican's not great in this situation, as if they try to go through the sea, they're going to hit a brick wall of Pink's units, and if they try to go on the land, they're going to run into Purple's Reapers and Manticore. So, yeah, I'm not sure about Pelicans in this situation. Not the best pick, not the best choice. EXE, I think, now transitioning into more of a air-heavy game plan. And, of course, Harold with his first stalker out. I'm excited to see this in combat. We hardly ever see these in real games, so I think this might be a joy to watch. Walker telling his teammates, I'm going to need some more units from you guys. Certainly it feels like his teammates could contribute more, but in fairness, his teammates are contributing, building units in the water, so it's not as though that they are just playing SimCity, at least not completely. They are at least playing some Total Annihilation. And as mentioned before, Walker does build a single T2 heavy laser tower, and you can see just this one heavy laser tower, just one defensive structure can make such a difference. I mean, look how much damage this thing has put out. It's unbelievable. This one upgraded GAT truly making a big difference in that fight. Let's see how many kills it has. 6 kills on it, but I wish we could see how much damage it did. It probably did as much damage as everything else combined in Walker's army to EXE's Zeus's. But now these Pelicans will move in and meet Pink's floating army. And as I mentioned before, these Pelicans, I don't even think they're going to kill this Executioner. They might get it. So it's not as though the Pelicans did nothing, but Pink was ready for this. And I don't know why Blue didn't send his Navy as well. Why not send everything if you're going to try to push through the top? If he had sent his ships, he might have even been able to break through here. Would have been close with Purple coming to assist, but nonetheless, I don't really understand why Blue thought those Pelicans were going to work. Walker pushing again. Harold massing a huge army of Bulldogs, and I think what Harold wants to do, once he has amassed enough subs, he is going to try to look at this. He's got 3 stalkers, so once he feels he has enough of a naval force, he's going to push through the bottom and bring these Bulldogs as well. Just try to break through. But Walker has broken through himself, through the middle, and very little defense there. And by very little, I mean almost none. There's a couple of bulwarks. And Harold asking EXE to bring his bombers to bear. They can't let Walker just do whatever he wants. Some good bombing micro by EXE. We expect nothing less. Perhaps we'll even kill that. He will kill the upgraded heavy laser tower, but now what else can EXE get done? There's no air defense in this army. Clearly the Western team was not prepared for EXE's bombing raids, though perhaps they should have been. This behavior is very characteristic of our Russian legend, causing all kinds of havoc on the battlefield with these bombers, and not a single fighter or anti-air unit to be seen anywhere on the map. EXE, you monster. I had to say it. I did say it. And now, Purple breaking through in the top. Blue has a few destroyers off the coast, but once again, there's almost no defense. Guys, it is incredibly surprising on a map like this, with all these natural choke points, that players are not building defense. I just have to say, on a map like this, you expect defense. You know, it doesn't take much. We saw how much damage that single Orion did in the middle of Walker's. So 1 or 2 heavy laser towers at a choke point or an immolator, or really anything Or even just building Dragon's Teeth to slow them down. Just building a Dragon's Teeth wall if you're not going to defend. Just to give you some more time. Walker's saying, I think we lost. I don't know what he's basing that on. I don't know if he realizes his purple teammate has broken through and killed an advanced K-Bot lab. And a Moho as well. That is a lot of diplomats. But, yeah. In the battle, in the middle, it's still pretty close. As I mentioned, it is a Morty diplomat meta. EXE continuing the bombing campaigns, but there is some air defense in the sea. Because Pink might have been the only player that was ready for EXE. But nonetheless, I'm not sure what Walker is basing his claim on that he thinks they lost. Guys, I do apologize. I think I've been missing the battle in the sea down here. As Harold has taken this opportunity to bring his stalkers. Oh my god, look at this. They're shooting 2 torpedoes a second. These guys, I think Stagma caught a little bit off guard by the stalker. Even as a caster, I'm caught a little off guard. We just don't see the assault submarine very much, and Harold will use this opportunity after killing a lot of Stagma's navy to continue to push through here. He's also got a huge number of archers there for air support as well, so Harold has all his bases covered, pushing through with Panthers. Walker panicking, pulling a bit of an Abdul Rahman here, and melting down emotionally. Stagma telling him, we're okay, quit panicking. The game is not over yet. Harold is a strong opponent, but Stagma can never be underestimated. 3 Lampreys, the underwater torpedo launcher in the back line. Walker's saying that they're living in different realities. Clearly his wife did not kick him hard enough in the balls this game. Now, Harold moving through with 3 stalkers. A veritable army of archers as well. Ready for these cyclones. Harold was ready for this. And these stalkers are tanky. Good frickin' lord. It just feels like there's not enough sub-defense. There's not enough depth charges in the universe. Even Thanos with his Infinity Glove probably could not stop these stalkers. And Stagma honestly making a little bit of a mistake by not fighting in range of these lampreys. If he had just fought a few inches back, these would have definitely changed the course of the battle, but Stagma probably a little bit shocked at how much damage these stalkers are doing. How many kills do these monsters have? 5 on that one, 3 on that one, but that doesn't really tell the story. These stalkers, truly horrifying. And if anyone has the right to panic right now, it is our friend Stagma, because he has officially lost the naval battle. He's working on a warlord, but it is nowhere near to completion. And now Harold moving through with a terrifying combination of units. However, most of Harold's air defense, or all of his air defense, is dead, so could be that these cyclones perhaps keep Stagma in the game for a little while longer. It seems like Stagma did target the archers, but Harold does have, oh my god, Walker pulling an Abdul Rahman here, giving up, mentally melting down, having an emotional breakdown on camera, even though there's no camera. The only camera is my camera, but oh, hold that thought, because Stagma in the chat telling Walker, please sir, stop melting down. Please reclaim your dignity. Take a deep breath. Recover mentally. Oh my god. This one recon, they've got to kill it. Oh god, it was halfway from killing that fusion reactor, so Herald apparently also on T3. Herald once again doing it all. At EXE now bringing in some brawlers as well. But a Talos has appeared, and the Talos anti-air is impressive, as you can see. Single-handedly taking out most of this brawler army. And, wow, this game is still really close. Even with Walker having a fucking meltdown in front of all of us. Even with Stagma volunteering to be a de facto therapist this game. Probably having his own emotional meltdown. I certainly would not want to be administering therapy in the middle of a game. So this is what I was talking about. EXE finally building a wall here. This is smart. Like, if you're not going to build defenses, just wall it off and say to hell with it. But no, I would not want to be any kind of therapist in this universe or any other middle of a TA game. I think maybe I would just degun. I was going to say degun my ally's commander instead. Of course, that would kill me too, so maybe that's not the answer. Seppuku is not the answer, my friends. Herald moving forward here with a large army of bulldogs. But Walker with a well-placed Doomsday Machine and a Viper. That is going to at least slow down Herald's monstrous push in the middle. But the problem is that Herald has monstrous pushes anywhere and everywhere, all over the place. With the recons and stalkers and executioners and conquerors, oh my. And now bringing the archers back into the mix. This one warlord has been in production since the dawn of fucking time. This thing will eventually be completed. That thing was in gestation longer than a child. 9 months of hell for that shipyard. But finally it is out. And can it keep Stagma in the game? Thank God Stagma has a little more composure than our friend Walker here, who seems to be collapsing physically and emotionally, as life is hard and escalation is even harder. And certainly Herald making it unbearable to live. For Stagma, this one warlord, not even enough, I think. Can't even stay alive, as these conquerors and archers will be just enough to sink it, send it down to Davy Jones' locker where it belongs. Sir, we needed you about 3 months ago. But Stagma, not one to give up. He's got some Talos. He might be able to defend this. The battle continuing to rage in the middle of the map. And let's get rid of all the scribblings. Yeah, EXE with some nice micro, really keeping Walker's army at bay. The Goliaths don't have massive range, but they are very hard to kill. So this battle in the mid has been back and forth. I will say Walker did a very good job by building this DDM and the Viper there. That, I think, is the only thing that kept the Eastern team from breaking through. But these Talos really doing a great job of controlling the sea from the shoreline, keeping Stagma in the game. Stagma, great composure, despite the fact that the situation has not looked good for him for the past 10 minutes or so. Being on the opposite side of Herald, never a great place to be, never a comfortable position for sure. Stagma making the best of it. Like I said at the beginning of the cast, this man is one of the best players in team games for both Escalation and Pro TA. He just makes great decisions. Very good decision maker and great mechanics as well. And apparently good composure, acting as a de facto therapist in the middle of an escalation game cannot be easy, my friends. Do not sign me up for the job. Copperhead down. EXE does take out the air defense. And now there's nothing here to stop EXE from just bombing Walker's army into oblivion. Targeting the diplomats first. Nice job. And now a sumo walking through. Sumos, I have called them kings of T2 for core. They are slow as all hell, but they are quite formidable. Very hard to kill. EXE with more bombing shenanigans. There is a battle in the top once again, but now we have a warlord versus pelicans. Guys, I have to say this is going to be a very one-sided matchup if I ever did see it. The poor pelicans don't really stand a chance. This warlord hasn't even been touched. This thing is an absolute monster of a human being. 9 kills on that raid boss there. But hold that thought, because Harold, he is done with Stagma's nonsense. He's absolutely disgusted with this player. He's decided Walker doesn't need any more therapy. He is going to destroy everything near and dear to Stagma's heart, taking out those 3 fusions. Oh my god. Harold, such a fearsome opponent. First, he won in the sea, then those crazy pushes with recons, and now finally using his aerial prowess to inflict devastating economic damage on Stagma's base. As you can see, Stagma's energy now in the red, unable to control his economy, as Harold is almost 300 metal per second. That's the highest in the game by far. So yeah, terrifying situation for the Western team. But despite all of that, I don't think it's over. I think perhaps Walker giving up a little too soon. He's got good teammates. Pink definitely winning the naval battle here in the top. And Blue doing what I said earlier. Just, if you're not going to defend it, just build the damn walls. Pull a Donald Trump. Build the walls. Make Mexico pay for it. But Harold, he has a chimera. Excuse me. Talking is hard. Walker finally breaking through with this army of Goliath. It feels like it's been a long time coming. It's been a slow push for sure. Guys, there is action happening all over the place. But I do have to say the Chimera should be a decent counter to the Talos. But with all those Morty in the background, maybe he has enough damage to kill this monster of a man. This Chimera may die. Oh my god. Stagma has broken through against all odds, despite having his base picked apart by Harold's countless raids and endless aggression. Stagma, he is striking back with a vengeance, not willing to take all of this sitting down. Like I said, a fearsome player. Every bit Harold's equal in team games, in my opinion. Harold may be the best 1v1 player, but Stagma definitely can give him a run for his money in a team game. Just very, very good. And EXE trying to make spiders. The Eastern team panicking as Stagma has broken through, and it seems as though they just don't have the requisite answers to stop this. Oh my god, almost 20 kills on that one. And what's going on here? Okay, 6 kills on that one and 36 kills on that one. So these 3 Talos with a combined over 50 kills, and it's not even counting the Mortys. This is a fearsome push from our brown player. Stagma showing us why he's one of the best, even after losing so much and being on the being on the brink here. He is making a great effort, bringing some spiders in to try to stop this push, and it seems like perhaps they will stop it. But God, look at how much it has taken. It has taken brawlers, tritons, and spiders, and bulwarks, and everything. And these Talos are still alive. These things have so much veterancy that they're practically invincible. My God, what an impressive display by our brown player. It just feels like the Eastern team cannot kill these things. Man, these Talos have eaten their Wheaties this morning. Is Stagma cheating? Stagma is hacking. Confirm. Please ban Wotan. This Talos should die any second. It has been on 1 HP for the past 3 hours. But no, it refuses to die. It refuses to die. It finally will. But look at how much damage Stagma has done with 3 Talos. And a smattering of Mortys in the background. The Talos doing something against the brawlers. But it seems like these brawlers are also causing a lot of problems. Clearly Herald pumping them out. Record speed. And now Centurions. But these are not upgraded Centurions. These are just T1. Or, unupgraded. Holy cow. How are these Talos still alive? How can this behavior be allowed? Finally, Walker, who has been on the Goliath game plan for the past 20-30 minutes, is on the Behemoth game plan, and these will be significantly stronger. I do have to congratulate the Eastern team for finally building some defense. I don't think bulwarks are really the best thing they could build here. Maybe some annihilators or doomsday machines could be a good option. But I've been so focused on Stag's push here, I really haven't paid much attention to anything else going on. There is a tactical nuke here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But tactical nukes are going to struggle to hurt Behemoths. Behemoths have a massive amount of health. And this wall not completely stopping Pink from sending pyros, but you can see it is causing them to have to go, oh my god, what is that? One at a time. So the wall definitely helping, and now Pink with his Leviathan, the core equivalent to the Stalker, slowly having to tear down. You can see this Dragon's Teeth wall is buying so much time. If it wasn't for this, Pink would already be here, and maybe even shelling the coastline of EXE's base. So you can see those Dragon's Teeth worth their weight in gold, costing almost nothing, and creating tons of headaches for our Pink player. But hold that thought, as Herald bringing even more brawlers into the fray and some archers as well to clear the skies. Stagma building an eviscerator here, the T3 air defense, but can he finish it in time? He will finish it. This eviscerator finished just in time, and guys, the T3 air defense, I don't know how to it destroys air. It just cleans the sky completely. It's unbelievably effective. That tactical nuke will land down here and take some of these archers to half health, I think. I thought the Telos had AA too. Maybe that was just a misunderstanding on my part, but I thought the Telos could hit brawlers. But despite that, just this Eviscerator was only alive for about 5 seconds and it got 12 kills. So yeah, the T3 air defense, super impressive, and a second tactical nuke will land and kill most of those archers. Or kill the remaining ones. So once again, the game very close. Pink now bringing a construction ship to physically reclaim these annoying dragon's teeth so that he can finally break through, but he's going to be very frustrated to find that there is yet another wall in his way, and Pink desperately needs to get here with his Warlord and start shelling EXE's exposed base. All of this eco is vulnerable, and if Pink could get through there, I think if Pink knew what the stakes were of breaking through here, he would be making more of an effort, because this Warlord could easily win the game, no question. And those dragon's teeth are just a thin veneer of a defense. The only thing stopping Pink from absolutely shrekking the Eastern team's base. But an arbitrator here as well, as the game is officially entered the heavy T3 phase with Mammoth on the battlefield, Behemoths, Marauders, we've seen Talos, we've seen just about everything. I'd like to see some more Juggernauts and whatever else. But I mentioned earlier, Immolators would be good in this situation with the small choke points. Stagma hearing me. He has taken my energy and now building Immolators to fry these spiders. Spiders do not like fire. And that arbitrator missile. What are you doing? That arbitrator missile, a little bit retarded. But it looks like that missile will land, dealing some decent damage to these Centurions. And but again, I don't think these Centurions are upgraded. They only have the single cannon. But even unupgraded Centurions, quite impressive. And they will ultimately break through here, even with all of that defense, even with the arbitrator missile, even with the Mortys. The Centurions, nothing to scoff at for sure. An air defense in the sea as well. A huge battle taking place in the middle at the same time, and at the top another engagement is raging. So 3 different battles all taking place at the same time. EXE and Bully have to watch their commander bringing them out of the water. They do not want to die to those subs. There's a lot of them. But Herald has broken through in the bottom, and the Western team struggling to break through here in the middle with Mammoth and Behemoth. Quite formidable, but there's a lot of bulwarks. I'm really surprised there's no Annihilators. This is a perfect situation for those T2 Tachyon cannons. Like up here, some Annihilators, and those are effective, but they'd be better in the middle for sure. As it does look like EXE building these Cerberus to stop the ships from rampaging his base. Walker has broken through. Remember, 20 minutes ago, Walker was saying it was game over. But right now, it is anybody's game. Either side could win. It's hard to even say who is ahead. Stagma, having rebuilt his T2 shipyard, completes another Warlord, and a nice tactical nuke will land there. EXE bringing Brawlers. Brawlers are the Eastern team's game plan, as both Herald and EXE spamming these gunships to death. try to hold on. The Western team desperately needs some air defense in their armies, some flex. Even the T3 anti-air vehicle could be a useful addition to stop this this insane defensive ability. And look how much health the Mammoth has, even with like 30 brawlers. They're still not even able to kill it in time. Finally, Walker bringing a single flacker into the mix, a Copperhead. But now Blue with a counterattack here. And Defilers on the field as well. Now, these Pelicans can hit the Leviathan, but they're not going to do much damage to it. It would take them a literal century to kill it, so the Leviathan should be safe for now, and the Mammoth still very healthy. Second Mammoth moving in. I'd like to see some better team play between Purple and Walker. They need to attack together with the Mammoths and Behemoths all at once, and some air defense preferably. This Eviscerator would be a good addition because the range of the Eviscerator is huge, so even if it's built up there, it should be able to hit all of this. Something like that. That's the range, I swear to God. So that Eviscerator would definitely allow these pushes to achieve a little bit more potency. But now Stagma, nice micro with the Cyclones, taking out the Stalkers. Herald with the Protea number of Hawks here. Arbitrator. The missile slowly chasing the Hawks. You can see the Arbitrator missile is on a mission, but it's not. It's going to run out of steam and just drop right on the recons there, getting them all at about half health. So that was pretty amusing. That missile just did not have. It was like the little engine that could. Just didn't really have the motivation to go all the way. Just ran out of steam there and just falls right on the recons, deciding that is a good enough target. But Walker, who once again said the game was over about 30 minutes ago, now with a fearsome push through the middle. But once again, please, teamwork, please. Purple, assist this man. Not let Walker do this by himself. It would help so much to have those Mammoths as part of this attack. But I admit it did look kind of bad. Nice Arbitrator missile there, and another one. Beautiful explosions. Robot parts flying all over the map, but I wish Purple would make a little more use of his Mammoths. Send them in a little further to help Walker, who, in fairness, does seem to have calmed down. Walker is back in the game. The game will continue. Things are still very close, even with Herald's massive economic lead, which is no longer. He's not the only player anymore with a massive economy. We've got. Let's see. Stagma is about equal, and Goalie as well up there. So, but even with Herald's huge economic advantage, the Eastern team has not been able to truly break through. And after that bombing run of Herald's onto Stagma's base, I almost thought that might be it. But no, that was simply not enough to keep this man down. He simply rebuilt his fusions and even more fusions on top of it. So finally the Western team breaking through here, and Purple repairing the Mammoth, which I really like. Keeping T3 units alive and repairing them so they can fight another day is usually a good investment. The battle continues to rage as this push through the middle. It has just been gaining steam. It just feels like it continues to get stronger and stronger, and now with this eviscerator protecting the skies, even the brawlers may not be able to stop this. This is a difficult situation, but now a Gorgon has entered the fray, and perhaps the Gorgon can be the difference maker. It can be the savior that the Eastern team needed to protect their base. More Talos coming through as well, but this Gorgon, once again it gets in range of Walker's army, it is going to start melting everything alive. But no, in fact, EXE instead going to target Stagma's army. The Gorgon sends out pulses of AoE damage and paralysis as well. I think it also has a paralyze effect, but you can see it will simply melt everything. These Mortys are going to start popping any second as the Gorgon continues to push out its DPS, but EXE might be out of energy. This thing isn't pulsing for some reason. It feels like EXE doesn't have the energy to support that. Finally gets some, but yeah. Herald telling EXE to retreat with the Gorgon, trying to keep this thing alive for now. EXE struggling to even keep those EMP pulses coming out, and ultimately will lose it, but he did get a lot. He did kill quite a few Mortys and at least one Talos, and tons of battleships here in the bottom as well. This game is just becoming absolutely insane. These brawlers staying just out of range of the eviscerator. Like I said, its range probably ends about where I drew. Yeah, oh my god, it was almost perfect. Look how pro your caster is, guys. I was able to just eyeball that eviscerator range almost perfectly. It's okay, guys. You know, I'll keep my day job, but you know, you have to give me credit for that. Holy cow, there are so many brawlers and hawks in the mix here. This game, it just keeps on giving, and neither side really feels that far ahead. So many brawlers and hawks here. It feels like neither side can really gain any kind of significant foothold on the map long enough to inflict devastating or game-ending damage. The most damage that was inflicted so far was Herald's Hurricane bombing run about 30 minutes ago now, but Stagma made a full recovery and then some. Still very much in this game, and now we're going to have to start looking for game enders like this. And Aurora, maybe with a couple good Aurora runs, Herald can do more than just cripple Stagma's economy. Maybe he can kill his commander or win the game. I'm looking for anything else that may be, you know, something, anything, any kind of game-ending option. Walker now saying in the chat that his hands hurt. Probably mostly from typing to his teammates, harassing his fellow players who are just trying to do their best here. But I don't see anything on the western side except for a Krogoth, which Krogoth is like T3.5. It's not quite T4, but it is much, much stronger than it is in OTA. Even a single Krogoth can be like the Gordon Freeman of the Escalation universe. The right man in the right place can make all the difference. This mammoth gonna go down. And it seems like the Eastern team, with all these Chimera and now a Raptor, the arm equivalent to the Krogoth, could they finally push back? There are 2 Doomsday Machines. But hold that thought, because Stagma, with a well-timed bombing run, which I didn't even see, takes out a T3 factory and a line of fusions. So very, very nicely done by Stagma. I'm not even paying attention to that, but definitely inflicting some serious damage on that. Harold will immediately rebuild his T3 factory, and the game will go on, but Stagma definitely inflicting a nice blow there. An EXC with a Raptor and a Cerberus. Moving up to the front, but these 2 Doomsday Machines and an Overlord will prevent this battle. Will prevent the Raptors from just being able to do what it wants. Yeah, guys, I apologize for missing that bombing run, but I think you saw the relevant parts. He took out a T3 factory and some fusions. Unfortunately, Harold is on T3 fusions, or heavy fusions, super fusions, however you want to say it. So Harold will not be that bothered by losing his regular fusions. And I need to truly keep an eye on these Aurora. It looks like Harold going to build at least 3 before committing to his bombing campaign that could end the game. But these 2 Doomsday Machines, very well placed. Nice positioning, and with all of this beef in the way, they are going to be incredibly difficult to even get to. But like I said, when these 3 Aurora are finished, and unless Harold wants to go for more than 3, but perhaps that feels a little excessive to me. Of course, I'm no Harold, so maybe I just need to shut the fuck up. Purple with an Overlord. Now shelling Blue's base from afar. Overlord also like a tier 2.5 unit, an experimental super unit. Huge range and fire rate and damage. We don't see these very often, but they are also game enders in their own right. With Stagma, with a Krogoth moving through the south, but 1 Krogoth probably isn't going to be enough. There's Raptors, Chimera here galore, Arbitrators as well. Man, this game is so close, it's hard to even say who's ahead. I would say whatever happens with these 3 Auroras will probably determine the shape of the game. Harold does have a jammer as well, the illusion, to give those Auroras a little bit more protection and some counterintelligence. But yeah, this game truly getting to the phase where super weapons are going to start appearing and causing some kind of massive world-ending consequences for both teams. I need to keep an eye on these Auroras. The problem is, if I look away for 1 second, I might miss that bombing run like I did with Stagma's bombing run. But I will try to keep my eye on the minimap if I can. Pink now moving through with Defilers, a lot of Defilers. And I'd like to see him bring his Warlords into the bay here. Okay, finally the Aurora is moving. But are they moving to their final destination? Or are they simply posturing, getting ready for that bombing run? It's hard to say, but Pink, with this many Warlords, could be trying to end the game on his own. And, man, now with Purple's Overlord and all of Walker's Behemoths, they might just end the game themselves. Here in the middle, the Western team finally breaking through with the help of that Overlord. All the bulwarks are dead, and there's just almost no defense left. But still, Harold has his 3 bombers. The 3 atomic super bombers. Oh my god, I can't believe this game. Oh my god, EXE with the Lancets. Killing all of the Defilers. This Defiler attempt does seem to have been foiled, but hold that thought, because finally our man Harold taking to the sky, ready to pull the game back from the brink of destruction. He's got to get something done with these. There's so much air defense. Holy cow, I've never seen 3 Auroras die so quickly. It seems like the Western team learning from their mistake last time and building so much air defense that even 3 Auroras accomplished almost nothing. But Pink's commander is in the water, unless that's a decoy. It could just be a decoy. Yeah, it looks like it was. I thought that would be Pink's real commander, but okay, hold that thought, because Stagma with yet another bombing run, and unfortunately the Western team is nowhere, or the Eastern team has nowhere near the amount of air defense the Western team does, and so these 3 Hurricanes inflicting serious damage, killing that T3 factory again, going for the Mega Fusions. Maybe. I don't think they're going to quite make it. No, not quite, but still, as you can see, the wound has been opened. The Western team smelling blood in the water. The mega map kind of tells the story. It's Overlord punishing the Eastern team from all the way over here. I want to know how many kills this thing has. 53 kills on this Overlord. That man is a well, he's a chunky beast. He's a raid boss unto himself. So the Eastern team desperately looking for an answer, fishing for some kind of solution, but no solution is forthcoming. I don't see how they get out of this horrifying situation, as now Pink even has shredders mixed in to deal with all the brawlers and torpedo gunships. I don't think EXE has quite enough brawlers to, oh, maybe he does. He could have just enough brawlers to kill Pink's army for now, but it does feel... So, Light Blue left the game. It seems like he gifted his units to somebody before doing so, but probably getting a little tired. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm certainly getting a little tired myself. This game has just been absolute chaotic clown fiesta, and man, what a close game on both sides. Really well played by everybody. There's not a single player in this game that I feel like did not contribute to the team. Obviously some players doing more than others, but everybody doing their part. Yeah, this is an unbelievable game. Stagma breaking through with his Krogoth. Now he's going to take out Harold's naval armada. And I think the Eastern team is just exhausted at this point. It's not as though they couldn't keep playing, but everyone giving their units to Harold, I think everyone just kind of at the end of their rope mentally. The Western team just grinded them down, and even Stagma really was the unsung hero of this game. Stagma mentally in a great place, reassuring Walker, keeping the hopes and dreams alive even after Harold's bombing runs. So great job by everybody, but once again, Stagma. This man is a god. Guys, thank you for watching. That was an incredible game. Someone sent me that. Stagnation sent me that replay. Join my Discord if you want to be part of our games, just like this. And I would love to have you. And I will see you in the next cast.